Are you bringing your laptop and stuff?
I'll have my laptop. I hadn't planned on bringing my mic, but I can.
Yeah. Would that be too much to pack?
Um, just
You don't
kind of
have
I
to.
could
I'm
throw
just
I
saying.
could throw it in my bag. I don't know.
Yeah, if you throw or like yeah, if you throw it in, maybe we can do a Sunday episode or something from your hotel room. Or hey, shoot, you bring Zavon in.
I know that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
So yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Real Talk with ZTS, where we, as brothers, search for ways to share our voices while having a good time just talking, having those real talk conversations, our shared experiences, and reacting to random topics and articles. As we always say, we all have something to share, and we look forward to sharing and building that community of stories that we can all relate to. Now enjoy the episode.
Welcome back, Dustin. It's been too long, man.
I know.
Yeah.
It's been way too long. Has it been 2 weeks? It's been 2 weeks.
Seems like it, but
I think it's
yeah,
like
it's
been a
been
week.
like it's not I want to say 2 weeks. We went on without you.
Really?
Yeah. It feels much longer, dude. That's how much your presence is missed. But Tyler and I had much deeper, thought-provoking conversations without you here. No, just kidding, man.
I can imagine
It's
so.
good
I
to
can
have-
imagine.
I mean, just yeah. I mean, like I tell the guys, like Joe Margero and stuff when they were on, a lot of the articles that I find very interesting and ready to relay and talk about, I have you in mind, knowing that you would have some good comebacks or thoughts from it. So like sometimes like, I'm disappointed that you're not coming on because like, damn, man, like I had a good article or a good news segment that I want to bring up to Dustin. And sometimes, yeah, me and Tyler will talk about it, but I'm like, you know what? We'll talk about something else, maybe, Messi or the world of football. And I'll push off that article. But then when it's 2 weeks in a row, you can't show up. I'm like, all right, I can't hold on to this news because it's about 2 weeks old already.
Yeah, I think 1 week I fell asleep, and
yeah, you did.
I fell
You did.
asleep, and then I've had some homework due because I'm like
Yeah.
a child, and
You're grinding,
some
man.
homework due.
No, man, you're grinding. You're doing big things. So so no, it's good to have you on when you can get on, and the good thing about us three, dude, we can always pick up the slack, with conversations and go forward. It's not the same without us three on all together, but hey, we're here, and we got a good list of articles. It's been a hot topic week of like different news segments that, again, I curate with you in mind, Dustin. Honestly, because me and Tyler are that great. We could talk about anything, but I got to babysit you, Dustin.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm just kidding.
yeah. It's the primitive brain that's the problem.
No, I'm kidding. No, these are some good ones that like, because Tyler and I have like, our thoughts are kind of similar, right? Our opinions are similar when it comes to something, and it is not a you people thing. This is more of like, Dustin, you bring a good comedic relief, comedy relief that we all need. But
I need my own segment. I think that really just truly has to happen. The you people segment. Yeah, gotta get that going.
Where like Tyler and I are like, the token POC guests,
Or no, I just do it without you all. And it's it's like a tag along to every time I get called out for being a you people. It's like a response. It's a response. But if you were listening to episode 201, what he said regarding our people.
Right. Yeah, man.
I'd like to clarify our position.
Right. Other than that, man, all's been good with you.
Yeah. Me and my people, we've been okay.
Yeah. You guys got snow or anything over there?
No, yeah, and I'm actually referring to like the household. But yeah, no, they
I figured. Yeah.
Everyone's been sick, but
yeah,
okay.
Seriously.
Yeah. Did the cold from hell or whatever this is reach you guys out in Washington?
There was a weird snow. It would snow on and off, but it's like wet snow, so it didn't stick
Yeah.
at all. Yesterday it had a bigger downpour that was really wet. The only reason why I knew is because um I don't, the side topic. We'll get back to the weather in a bit, but this all ties into it. Have you guys been noticing like mail, whether it's delivery from Amazon or USPS, just been very inconsistent on top of people breaking into mailboxes and everything. And like, have you guys been seeing this string of like theft, hitting home a lot more? Whether, and I mean theft in a sense of like actual crime where someone's busting your mailbox, or in a sense where it's like delivery drivers and I'm generalizing. I'm not saying all delivery drivers, but delivery drivers are like lazier now, and so like they don't pay attention to if or care if like they lost your package or whatever.
We have pretty good delivery folks that like handle our neighborhood.
Yeah.
But I would say that I have noticed like the delivery drivers are also right now like using like budget rent-a-vans
Yeah.
instead of like the whatever like company truck it is.
Yeah.
Like what is that about? Like, are those things all just like that was kind of like born out of the pandemic where the mass, Amazon needs, and now maybe they don't need that and they're scaling down. I don't know.
Saving costs, probably.
Well, I was going to say most of the like delivery drivers for like Amazon don't even work for Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
They work for a third party delivery.
Yeah.
So that's maybe what those people are. That's maybe like what these specific.
What do you mean those people? You're about to say Pacific Islanders? Huh? You're about to say Pacific Islanders? No, just kidding.
Those people and a list are screwed me over here.
Yeah.
No, I
those
think
people,
maybe
including
those
Pacific Islanders. Yeah.
It was actually a white guy driving a weird blacked out van as far as like the windows. So pretty typical of those people, if you know what I mean. But maybe that's what it was. Maybe they were a contract one and it was better for them to buy like an old budget van.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But like, at my condo unit, like, Tyler's been over many times, and and I'm in actually a very safe neighborhood. I mean, we're talking about like very safe where white old ladies can can walk. Dustin, chill.
It happens to the best of us.
Sorry, Dustin. I know it triggered your granny porn fantasies.
That's right. Now it does. Yeah, no, it does.
All right. All right. I got it out of my mouth. No, like seriously though, of being for real, Tyler knows this. My neighborhood, in whole, is safe, very safe enough where like old ladies can be wearing headphones and walk at night with no fear, walking their dog or just fucking strolling because they want to leave their husband, because he annoyed it, whatever, right? That's how safe my neighborhood is. And so, condo units, we have our mailing lock boxes bay, right? So you guys know, I tell you guys this, well, at least Tyler knows, I've been getting to the hobby of collecting NFL cards lately. So I've been, buying a lot of cards from eBay and stuff like that. And so, every day I go to my mailbox because every day I have a delivery. It's a bad habit. But good news is that I'm down to like maybe my last 3 deliveries coming up, and then because dude, like in the past couple months, I've been buying so many cards, like every day was like a shipment. But anyways, so 2 weeks ago, I went to my mailbox, and there's like 5 bays, and out of the 2 bays that had a green plaque, like green sticker from the USPS post office, one of them was mine, and it says the mailbox next to yours had an attempted break-in. Your mailbox is fine, but however, because it was so close, all mail in this bay is now at the post office for pickup until further notice. Luckily, because I've been getting my mail often, nothing was stolen, but the bay next to mine that was broken into, everything was stolen. Like on a fucking Sunday night, dude, was when it happened.
That makes sense
and
because you don't get mail on Sunday, so no one's going to be checking it.
right, but yeah. But anyways, yeah, it was like, yeah. So that's one thing, and I guess like the whole city and more is like everybody's just breaking into mailboxes these days, like having nothing else to do. And even in a safe neighborhood, in a condo unit where like the bay is like, invisible sight, but also like far enough from the street, it's like who schemed this shit? Yeah, but I mean, anyways, it's been a nice little break. To drive to the post office is not too far from my house. But guess what? So the common question they get is like, all right, how long is this going to get fixed? The post office workers, in the office, they'll say, hey, it's up to like, it could be up to 6 months for it to be repaired, because apparently there's only one maintenance guy for the entire city, in my city, to fix it. And I guess that's similar to many cities in the entire United States where there's just one maintenance worker for their like specific city, depending on how big, I guess.
Is that so like there's not like duplicates of keys and things like that because like the master mailbox key probably?
I don't know, man, but
But
that would
I mean
make
that's
sense.
what a postman has, right? I mean they've got like a master key for all that kind
Oh
of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. That would make sense. If you
Maybe they're not certified. The maintenance guy is only certified for that purpose, but maybe there's a whole level of regulation on mailbox keys that we're not
right
aware of.
Yeah. Anyways, going back to my last point about the snow now, that long-winded thing, right?
Thank
so going
you.
back to the snow,
bringing it back.
So I had an Amazon delivery, which is more consistent because it's not going to your USPS box; it's going straight to your door, right? So I get the photo. They took a photo. It's right in the front. I come out. I'm like, cool, got it, got my stuff. And even though I'm in a condo unit, I just assume 90% of the time they're correct. Sometimes it is misdelivered, and I'm like, oh shit, it's not mine. Go find my neighbor. Most of my neighbors were really nice about like, oh, wrong one. We'll go drop it off at the right door. So anyways, I bring this one up, take the scissors. It's a bigger box. So, I cut the tape and I open it up. I'm like, there's a bunch of hair products. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I did not order this. Realized that it was misdelivered. And even more, like, who does this? All right, you guys are familiar with the Amazon tag, like the mailing tag, right?
Yeah.
So and then like they always put like random other stickers on there, right? Like it's like posted there like logistics. Anyways, they put one of their like yellow stickers covering the entire like street number or house number of the address.
So
and
you have no idea who this belongs
exactly.
to.
Well, I mean, we were able to like peel it off to finally figure it out. But I'm like, for a delivery driver who's in a rush, right? Because you have so many deliveries, like who did this to that person? And then, and then why did he guess or he or she guessed that it was my house?
Yeah, they were just like, I'm going this way anyway. Here you go.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll figure it out.
Because like, after I get off this episode, today's trash day. So, it'll be I've been out and around the house doing chores and checking the front door, hoping that one of my neighbors who may have our package dropped it off the door. Haven't seen it all day yet. So I'm hoping after our episode, when I'm, putting out the rest of the trash, it'll be there. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated via text. Anyways, going back to
we need a live update. We need a live update.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Right. But anyways, going back to this
little tracker to follow.
Yeah. Right. Because Amazon, like, thank goodness they have a great return policy. Shout out to Jeff Bezos, sponsor us. They have a great return policy. So, like, if you say it never got delivered, even though there's proof, the fucker took a photo, proof that it got delivered to our door. Amazon don't give a shit. They have so much money. Like, if you say
they just refund you,
wrong,
yeah,
they just refund you. So I'm not worried about that. But like at the same time,
well, that goes to the whole thing. Sorry, not to
no, go ahead.
Interrupt, but I don't know if you saw that, but was it over this weekend? Amazon became the first company to lose $1 trillion.
Lose $1 trillion. What was the reason?
No, just like because of that kind of stuff.
Oh, I see.
Where they
I see.
so they've like lost $1 trillion over the course of their lifespan, which is crazy because that's way more than the value of a lot of companies in the world. So it's just
countries,
like, countries for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No,
So,
but it was just like,
a
oh,
$1 trillion GDP is actually a huge feat for Russia doesn't have one.
Right.
I mean,
no,
many countries don't even have
right
$500 million GDP.
Right. But losing 1 trillion to them and I don't know their earning reports, but I'm guessing they're earning like
their stock's still going up.
3 trillion is nothing, right? Can you imagine saying that? Oh, I would rather lose 1 trillion, or I can afford losing 1 trillion a year, because
invest and barely getting any of it back.
Yeah. But
it's crazy.
Anyways, we were able to peel off the tape, and then going back to my snow story now yesterday, it was like heavy rain, snow mix, cold as shit. And I don't know why I decided just to go out in a plain t-shirt and slippers, sandals, because I assumed that this unit, that my neighbor's unit, who I don't know, but I assume their address was like, right here across the street from me, or just like right here. And turned out to be so hard to fucking find. Like, it took me like almost 20 minutes. I came back in, like 2 minutes out of that 20 minutes to like vent a little bit to my wife, saying, where the fuck is this unit? And then finally, like, she was like, oh, then, it should be right here. So good news is I freeze my ass off, or bad news is I freeze my ass off. Good news is, like, I kind of figured out more of like the building architecture.
You didn't figure out anything. Your wife showed
That's true.
you how
She
to
did.
do it. You cheated and you found out how to do it.
That's true.
So think about this guy. Let's think about Steven right now in this whole scenario. He was lost, and the first thing he did is, like, instead of just manning up and wandering around in circles, because you went and asked for directions.
Yes, I did. Fuck. Damn. You caught me. You caught me.
Yeah. Man card.
Damn. I did
revoked.
I did ask for directions. Damn. All right. Well, okay. Here's the good thing that came out of it. I was able to find that unit. Bad news is they didn't have our stuff. Well, I didn't ring on their doorbell because their lights were all off. So I was like, okay, and it was like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. maybe around that time. So I was like, all right, I'm not gonna ring on the doorbell, but I left their box in front of their
Did you
unit.
at least put a note in the box?
I thought about it, but
my bad. I didn't mean to open your shit.
I thought about it, but I was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna leave it. I thought about writing a note, but I didn't because I was pissed because I couldn't find their fucking unit. By the way, it was across the street from me. It was the building across from me, which is like a quick spits distance. Like, it was that close.
And I'm gonna give you this because it's never like 4 blank 6. It's like 4 91 14.
Exactly, dude. Oh, and hear me out. So apparently I just figured this out. So my condo unit, it's made out of I want to say about 6 units, right, in one building. And it's very easy. It's 6 units. All right. Now, just pay attention to that. Just 6 units up and down, right? Because I'm on an upper floor condo. There's a lower floor condo, and it's just 6 units stacked. All right. In one building. Across from me, next to me, I assume the layouts all should be the same, right? No. So the unit across from me, directly across from me, it looks like it's 6 units, right? However, it's actually 12 units, because on the backside, connected in one building, is another 6 units. And hear me out. The building that's in front of me, it's labeled from like B to G, right? Oh, so the unit that I'm looking for is H. I'm like, where the fuck is H? Like, it doesn't exist to me because I assume it's just same 6 units as me. A is actually in the back, where it's like, it doesn't even look like an access point, but there's a unit in the back, and H is actually on its own. Like, in a little concave, like below the deck of the unit above it, which is Unit G. So it's like hidden. You couldn't even see the unit. It looked more like the unit, especially at night, and it's raining, snow, rain mix, and I'm freezing my ass off and annoyed I can't find this, and walking in t-shirt and slippers. Like during nighttime, it looks like it's more of like a maintenance room, down below, but it's Unit H. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? But anyways, another good news is, I've been buying a lot of cards, and there's a few cards that ended up missing. Like it says delivered from eBay, but I never got it. And this was about like several months ago. One of them was actually a pretty rare card that I bought for like $10. Yeah, I bought a piece of plastic for $10, cardboard for $10. Don't judge me, Dustin. But it was a rare card. Never got it. Chopped it up for a loss. Whatever. While I was out walking around, my immediate next door neighbor was just out, like, fixing his truck and stuff. And he goes, "Hey man," because we rarely see each other because he's like in the military and he works like late. He works like dead graveyard shift. But he was just out, and I finally bumped into him. He's like, "Hey man, I've been trying to ring on your doorbell for a while. I got some mail for you that was in my box." And it was the rare card that I've been looking for a month.
Nice.
I was like, dude, next time just leave it on my mat. He's like, no, I didn't, I don't want it to get ruined or whatever. So I just held it, and we just never see each other. But finally we just happened to bump each other, and now he's like, "Hey man, I got your mail." I was like, thank God, I've been looking for this, dude. Mail, Amazon losing 1 trillion. I learned about a new neighbor's unit. Snow, moving on.
A, say unit one more time.
Unit.
And then B, was this just a John story and you were like just waiting to see if like I was gonna stop you earlier? Because that was a John story for sure.
It was, but the point,
short,
the point
like
of the
90
story,
minutes. But
yeah, but the point of the story was that it snowed, rain mixed on and off, and today is just very sunny. So the whole point was talking about weather. We were going back to the weather was the reason we were talking about this. Anyways, I heard California is getting slammed with snow. Yeah. Is that true where you are? Or is that like Northern California?
For what?
I heard California is getting slammed with snow. Is that where you are, or is that more like Northern California?
It's like more northern than us, but like the Sierras and whatnot. So going towards Reno, which honestly isn't that really that far from us anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just past Sacramento going up, and yeah, they got hit with 10.5 feet of snow.
Yeah, I heard.
That makes sense. Yeah, Tahoe and all that.
Tahoe, yeah. They basically said last week, like, if you're trying to take a long weekend or something, like, you better leave by Wednesday.
Yeah.
So yeah, because like Reno had 10.5 feet of snow, and I was like, Reno had that much snow? That's kind of crazy, actually.
Jeez.
But Reno's also at like 8,000 feet. But
yeah, it's like what, an hour and a half from Tahoe.
Yeah, but I got slammed up there. We just got most of the rain that came down from like Washington in that cold front that kind of came down. So we had a lot of that. It was just kind of ironic that because like Allie's mom came down this past weekend.
Try to escape the cold.
And she's like, I can't wait to have sun. I'm like, you realize that cold front's coming from up there and now it's hitting us, right? Yeah. So we got a lot of rain while she was down here, which is fine. I obviously don't care too much. I'm used to it. But it does bring up to the point of like California has been hit. I don't know if you've heard this conspiracy. I don't know. Dustin may have heard of it. I don't know if you have, Steven, but California has been getting so much rain this year. Obviously, you've seen like SoCal and all that stuff getting so much rain where it's flooded, and like San Diego and LA and like all these things are just like getting carried away kind of thing. But people are thinking that cloud seeding is happening again down in California.
I haven't heard that, but I was gonna joke saying like, you know how China does that, for like rain and stuff. So I was gonna joke about that. But anyways,
no. So a lot of people in California think that that actually they're doing cloud seeding down here, and that's why there's so much rain in California this winter. And obviously, you know, when they did it back in the 50s or whatever, they realized that these chemicals that, you know, create the sub-freezing ice nuclei in the clouds and whatnot are actually harmful to humans.
Yeah. Oh.
So that went away for a long time, but now a lot of people are saying that they're using it, or that would explain why we've been getting so much rain and snow down here in the last however many seasons. So
that is a crazy conspiracy.
These are also the same people that think like the the streams that the jets leave in the sky are like, you know, government conspiracy. Like, I had a guy at an admissions event one time in Washington try to he's like, but you work for the university, so
admissions.
You don't.
I thought you said mission. Like,
no,
like a religion mission.
Admissions. No, not the mission. But no, this guy was like, I mean, he's like, well, you work at the university, so you know you're brainwashed.
Oh my God.
About the jets and the air and the heat and the just basic temperature stuff. Like that's math I understand. You know?
Yeah.
All right, bro. But here, apply.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and apply. You'll make a great student here.
Probably
you fund my income.
Physics. You know?
Yeah. No, probably art major or some shit like that. Yeah.
It's all that to say. Yeah, there's been a lot of rain down here lately, but
yeah. Let me see if I can share this. I saved this just for you, Dustin. Let me see how I can share this. Hold on. So last weekend, actually a couple weekends ago, I'm a little late. But you guys heard Dune Part 2, the movie, came out a couple weekends ago, or maybe last weekend.
Last weekend,
did you guys see it yet? No. I heard they did really good opening weekend. Which I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big like sci-fi fan like that, unless it's like something like Marvel or DC or something like that, right? That kind of it's like it's comic based, right? And I know Dune was like a book from the 70s and stuff. Couldn't read it, by the way. But anyways, I heard the hype, so I was like watching it when like a couple years. What was it, like a couple years ago, 2021 when it came out?
Mm-hmm.
It was on HBO Max at the time, so for free with our subscription. I watched it, no expectations, and was blown away. I was like, wow, This is a fucking good movie. And I was so mad because I was like, are you fucking kidding me? The second part is coming out in 2024, but we're here now. But back then, like, it was so long ago. But yeah, I'm excited to watch it because I probably won't see it in theaters. I'll just wait for it to drop on Max. But anyways, let me see if I could share this. Let me know if you guys see it. I'm dropping it in the chat. How do you share something like an image?
You could just share your screen.
Yeah, you can just share your screen, man.
All right, let me share.
It's his first time on Zoom.
Yeah, actually it is.
First Zoom call.
All right, how do I?
He was born in the year 1985.
Yo, how the fuck this works? Okay, here you go. Share screen. It's a big green button.
It's a giant green button in the middle of the screen.
Yeah.
I wonder how much this affected Steven going through this. The meta being down today. Do you see that or hear that?
No, yeah. What? I actually I'm struggling doing this, so I'm actually gonna just text it to you guys.
So I'm only gonna make fun of you because the other day I could not. Yeah. I've never put people in breakout rooms because I've just never bothered with that.
Yeah.
And I had to do it the other day, and I was like, oh my god, like I don't know how to do this. I'm apparently
I'm old. Actually fuck it. I'm just gonna text it to you guys because like it started asking me for permissions and shit. And I'm just like, I can't read the disclaimer right now. All right. This is for you.
Chewing
Check
gum
this out.
can't do it. Here we go.
Let me know when you guys see it.
Yes, I've seen these.
Yeah, the popcorn bucket. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, Dustin.
Yeah. Gonna try it out. I'm only going to the theater to get the bucket.
That's what everyone is saying. It's like,
oh, really?
Even if you don't go to see Dune, go for the popcorn bucket.
Yeah, Dustin, on a scale of let's see, your wife to granny porn.
Just because that's the criteria. There is a little
yeah. For those
invalid measurement tool.
For those who can't see this text I just sent one. So apparently, Dune, when it opened up last weekend, they had a very interesting design for their limited edition popcorn buckets that you could get when you go to the opening weekend or any weekend. I don't know. It's been a while since I've been to like an opening weekend. Let's just say that it's very similar to, let's see. I immediately think of Star Troopers. You remember the alien in Star Troopers?
You're not Starship Troopers. Those are like the big egg
Starship
things.
Troopers.
You're thinking
it was
Star Wars, where like
the sandworm.
No. I'm also thinking of the comedy Starship Troopers, the one where like they go to Mars and they fight
I know Starship Troopers.
Yeah, no, that's the slug alien thing. You know what I'm talking about, right? And you know what it resembles.
Yeah, but they look nothing like the thing from Dune, nor the sex toy that they're selling.
Oh man,
I'm certainly gonna get one. I'll report
this
back.
Is like a
another live coming at you with the news there.
Yeah, and just remind me when I ever visit, or me and Tyler ever visit, remind us if we're having a movie night at your house, let's not use that as a popcorn bucket.
Do
no. Jomar, maybe? No, I'm just kidding.
He just has it tied around his waist, though. It's like Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, that's where I was definitely heading.
Oh yeah,
man. Or Dustin, it's like, hey, Jomar, come cuddle up next to me. Let's Netflix and chill. And you cut a hole in the bottom of this thing.
Steven's catching up with his own.
Yeah, I know.
Tyler and I've already been there.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, moving on. For those looking up, popcorn bucket for Dune 2.
It might type that into like a Google safe search engine, not.
Yeah. Because we don't know what's that called? Rule 34 or some shit like that. What's that called? It's like a Reddit term where it's like, if it's out there in the internet, there's probably a porn version made of it. What is it called, Tyler? Like Rule 34, some shit like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, I'm not gonna type it up. Dustin, after your granny porn lookup, you could probably look that up. Take your glasses off.
That's right. But they won't be able to see and type it. Just go ahead. Sorry. Yeah,
let's move on to some better news. That was a fun little, that definitely had you in mind, Dustin, when I saved that little thing. Check this out. So Albert Einstein College of Medicine, somewhere on the East Coast. I forgot where it was at. You guys know where that's at? Albert Einstein College of Medicine?
Not specifically, but yeah.
Yeah, it's probably somewhere in Maine or something. I don't know.
That sounds very Maine-y.
Yeah. But check this out. You guys both, at a point, worked for admissions or or still do. So Albert Einstein College of Medicine was recently gifted $1 billion. Oh, the Bronx. Okay. They were recently gifted $1 billion with a B, like B as in Bezos, $1 billion. Essentially to specifically the College of Medicine, essentially covering any admitted student's tuition for forever. Like, $1 billion is a lot. As high as medical tuition is, like $1 billion can fund a lifetime of students' tuition, which this lady, her name is Ruth Gottsman, she inherited this $1 billion from her late husband, And both of them went to this school, so this is their alma mater. And he had a lot of stocks in Berkshire Hathaway, so obviously, and he'd been investing in it for many, many years until he passed.
Small little shitty company.
Right, yeah. Stupid company, right? Who does that? Anyways, after he passed, he gave her $1 billion and, in his will, told her she could do whatever she wanted with it. I'm sure he probably gave her more than 1 billion because I'm sure she probably got, or maybe she kept $1 million herself and then donated the rest. But anyways, she donated the rest to her alma mater because that's what Albert Einstein College of Medicine, because that's what she believes in. And so that's what she did. Which I think is like that is amazing philanthropy. I mean, it got me thinking though. It's like, by the way, the acceptance rate at this school is 2%. So that $1 billion can, I'm sure she wrote in the contract, the gift fund contract, that it can only be used towards tuition. So I'm guessing they probably can't, create a whole new football team or whatever, or fun, whatever. But dude, the acceptance rates is so small, for a lifetime, maybe when we're ashes, or we're not even ashes, we're we're particles in a fish's shit, like a million years down the road, people will still be getting their tuition paid as long as they get accepted to school. I'm not gonna lie, man. Maybe it's time to go back to school to study medicine and try to get into the school. Tuition free.
Yeah, if you get
tell your wife, ask your wife about that.
You could always just join the army. They'll pay your medical school.
Yeah. But I thought that was a really cool story, though. I mean, that's what you think about when you think of philanthropy, right?
Yeah, that's insane. That's amazing. And the fact that if she dedicated that money specifically to a cause like that, just think about what I think the endowment at Harvard is like $50 billion or something like that.
Yeah.
They have enough money for that university to never charge tuition forever. Yet, so what are they doing just sitting on $50 billion? Now, that's their business. I mean, I'm of that kind of thought of it's not up for me to decide. I don't work, I'm not running the organization. But when you see this kind of thing happening where when every school, every kind of learning is, so much more, the rate of inflation on education outpaces any other rate of inflation. Yeah. And it's just insane how much it costs year after year, that you would think that someone who's sitting on $50 billion couldn't take a little interest on that and go, here.
Yeah. Seriously. Yeah. Or, I mean, dude, they could probably take, Harvard can probably take one out of that 50 billion and just create their own loan system, right? At a lower interest rates for students. But then again, it's Harvard.
They don't have anyone that could probably come in and partner with them and do that. No one would respect that name and be like, hey, that's a great thing you guys are doing. We'll help you. This is going to be this great nonprofit thing we do. In fact, that actually sounds like a great organization.
Yeah, seriously.
To try to start up, encouraging these folks to do that, something that and any interest gets rolled back in towards tuition or something.
Right. Hey, but we all graduated from college and we all went to public college universities. We all know.
I went one of the colleges I went to was public.
Oh, okay. Okay, fancy.
Sorry.
Yeah. We got a trust fund kid over here.
I had her name was Sally. I got a trust fund from Sally. Miss May, and what I had to do for Miss May. Oh, boy. But our time is done. Our time is done.
Exactly. And, yep, exactly.
I learned a lot. I'm still the loser in that situation.
We all had to do nasty things. With Sally and May. But no, seriously, public schools in general, or even just getting those FAFSAs, right? Those grants or loans. like we realize a lot of universities are for profit, man, you know? But you kind of have to go through the fire to kind of realize that on the other side, right? You're like, we talk about this before. It's like, is college necessary? Yes and no, right? But it also depends on what's your career plan, or what's your, because not always do you need to go to a traditional 4-year university, go to a trade school, or something like that, right? But anyways, shout out to Ruth, for doing that. I mean, that is crazy.
And it was nice. Not that that's probably not like, I mean, it is a prestigious medical school and all that, like,
yeah,
but it's not like it went to the most well-known medical.
Yeah.
It's, don't get me wrong. If you can hand someone $1 billion for education, that's an amazing thing. But like, in everyone's mind, we would have gone, especially after this conversation we just had, of like, well, they already got 50 billion, like that. They won't even notice that. While like this other school just goes, oh, great, we can actually start. And then they're issuing refunds for people who had paid while they were in like school, like currently enrolled, right? Like if you had paid, like that's, that comes right back to you. So, so it's nice that like there could be like a direct impact instead of just like waiting for that to all kind of happen.
Yeah. Oh, and check this out. Final thing in that article. The College of Medicine was so blown away. Like I could imagine just the entire office just out of their, like, fell out of their chairs when they got this check. They begged her. They literally begged her, like, please let us change the name of the school to your name. And she's like,
right.
I don't know if she said fucking, but it seemed like in her interview, she was very witty for like an old lady. She was like, one of the greatest names people of all time is already on the school. Why do I want to take that away? Albert Einstein. Yeah. So yeah, dude, they really like was begging her to change the name to like her name. And she's like, one of the greatest people of all time is already on the school's name. I'm not changing that. I'm not taking that away. So yeah. So like, shout out to her. I thought that was a really cool story that came out recently. But no one will talk about it because, you people, like to talk about,
just
a certain orange-haired guy. No, I'm joking. It is election season, to be fair.
It is.
It's coming up. Yeah. To be fair, or pre-election, like we're getting to that season. Anyways,
I mean, I know you're excited. I mean, now that especially he's gonna be back on the ballot in all 50.
Yeah, I heard that.
So hey, that's gotta really be exciting for you.
For me?
Yeah, for you. I mean, you're the one. Like you said, you're talking about it a lot.
Right. Yeah, you're right. And it's unfortunate. You won't have your favorite Kanye West on the ballot.
That's right. I knew I was setting myself up for that, but I went for it anyway.
I know.
Nah, he wouldn't go that low.
Yeah.
Do you know this man?
Yeah. Do you know me? But here we go. Here's another thing. Check this out. So this news is about 2 weeks old now, with an update recently as of last week. But so 2 weeks ago, did you guys hear? You guys know what surge pricing is, right? Like,
yes.
With Uber and stuff like that. Did you guys hear that the Wendy's CEO, is planning to roll out surge pricing at Wendy's? Did you guys hear about that? Dude. I mean, since you guys heard about it, you heard that the week later after the backlash, he rolled it back, so he's not doing it anymore. But so it's not going to happen anymore because of the backlash. But I don't know, man. Like, how do you guys feel about that? Like, is that like, obviously the economists and the big CEO businesses know a lot more about the economy, or can foreshadow the future than we can with their numbers, because they're in it, right? If surge pricing was to happen, is that a good sign for the economy? Is that good for us? Right?
So this happens all the time. Like, if you're like looking at airplane flights and things like that, right?
Yeah.
that
But
like
fast food
prices. Yeah, that's crazy. But
yeah,
companies do this all the time. Like Amazon will change the price of a stapler,
true.
and what they've typically found is that the stapler was more expensive in low income neighborhoods. So like, well, why does that happen? Why there's already like a surge pricing on things
Right.
that we're actually just not aware of.
I'm thinking in a non-joking manner, like more educational. So you said you read a stat that staplers are more or staples are more expensive in a low income neighborhood?
No, like so the price is like based on your zip code will be like, so if you're searching online for things, it'll be higher in your zip code to buy things to have, like, say, delivered or for pickup than it would be. So like they've seen like disparities on those levels as well. Like the SATs would cost more for people in more predominantly Asian neighborhoods than not.
Right. Supply and demand, right? Would you say?
It's not really. So that's where it's tricky. So the first thing you think of when you hear this is, well, especially if we think right now about how like CVSs have closed and things like that, because they're like, hey, we can't keep things on the shelves because we just get robbed all day and we can't stop it. So things got more expensive. They had to put things behind doors. So is that the reason? That's kind of an extreme reason, and a little bit hard to justify because it's typically coming from a warehouse, not from an actual store.
Right.
So that's where it starts to become more of like, why are these more expensive? Because it's not actually being built in these other factors.
Right.
So it's all that to be said, it's not really supply and demand, it's the algorithm.
Yeah. But going back to your staples thing though, I could kind of feel like, in lower income neighborhoods, they have lesser access to technology or skills in technology, in terms of like, things we take for granted, right? Like, you're applying for a job, everything is electronically, send in your resume and everything in a PDF, where in a lower income neighborhood, they're printing more paper still, so you need that stapler. Is what I'm guessing.
No, no. track this time, because there's actually a guy that goes into lower income neighborhoods that are predominantly or a neighborhood that's like predominantly Black, and will take things that like white or non-Black people will say things like, well, you guys use more printers and instead of using things electronically, an example, and they're like, what the fuck? Or like, and it. So yeah, I don't think that's true. I don't think that lower income neighborhoods are using printers more, and that what I was referring to is like Staples, the brand.
Oh, Staples, the brand.
Yeah,
I thought this whole time I thought you were talking about staplers.
I'm aware. And then when I clarified it earlier, you passed right over it yet again.
I did.
So
I did.
And
I wasn't listening to you at all. Yeah, okay.
I'm aware.
I heard you this time.
But yes, things in lower income neighborhoods were priced higher when like you'd go to like their website.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, Wendy's fast food surge pricings. I mean, I'm glad it's not happening, but I mean, even McDonald's. We talked about this, right? Like we were saying, like McDonald's is already as expensive. Like what? Just a sandwich or just the burger of a Big Mac or something used to cost like what, $3-4, because it was premium, right? Now it's like $8-9. You could get endless steak cut fries and a big ass burger at Red Robin's for the same price, Yeah.
I've been to Red Robin's forever.
I know, dude. I was craving it the other day. I don't know why. I think I saw a commercial. I was like,
I don't think we have them out here.
No Red Robins. Well, I mean, I guess it's like a it started in Seattle, right? I think it did. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I got a Red Robin down here, so
yeah, probably a West Coast thing. Where
they had him in Texas too.
Red Robin start?
Watch, there's one like 3 minutes from your location, Dustin.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, Red Robin started as Sam's Tavern in Seattle in the 1940s. Before it,
Wow.
Yeah, told you. The only reason why I knew is because I happened a few times gone to the Red Robins in Seattle. I think down by the waterfront, and they have a placard that says "Very first Red Robins." That's how I remembered. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Speed round now. We gotta. Oh, go ahead.
Random for you. Has your car insurance gone up there?
I auto pay, dude. I have to look.
That's fair.
So I don't know. I think we're all fancy enough where I need to check. I actually been needing to now that you reminded me because like I've noticed like my home insurance and stuff too has been going up. So I'm like, I think I need to find a new insurance and maybe group everything together.
Oh, I've got something for you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of things like that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say it. You ready for it? You people.
Yeah.
And by you people, I mean those like regulators about like where zoning and those kinds of things. Isn't that what you do?
No, I don't do zoning. So I don't do anything political.
But it's like construction and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, but it's more construction, but there's no regulation on it. Now zoning is different. There is a specific those are called land use reviewers.
Okay, so what we've established here is you know more about this than I do.
Yeah.
So you are the target of this conversation.
Yep. I could probably answer a few questions.
Yes. So we get a letter in the mail, and they're like, due to your home insurance is going up because we've determined that the creek in your backyard is makes you at more risk of flooding.
Yes. Yes. Flooding is a new thing.
We already know what we pay a part of our home insurance for that, but we just had like the worst, storm here recently.
Mm-hmm.
That creek is nowhere near our property.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, it's like, we just know. And I'm like, I bet you they just had a guy sitting there with like GIS looking at water, looking at property and went, yep, that's at risk.
Now,
is that what you people do all day?
So no. So for me, no. What I do is just make sure I work with engineers and architects and make sure what they're building is safe, right? Now, so I don't do any regulations. I don't do any lobbying, right? So I'm not going to be like, I've noticed in this past year there's been 20 projects, people building like this. I want it gone, so I'm gonna go to the mayor. No, that's other people. For me, I'm just like, I'm also bounded by the current regulations. So if I'm reviewing a project with an architect and engineer, I'm like, hey guys, we're both on the same page. We're both fucked by this regulation. So no, I'm kind of like a like what's that called? What's that called when it's like
a liaison?
No, like a side view. Anyways, bottom line, no, I don't lobby or deal with regulations. I also I basically enforce it is the thing, right? I think that's the best way I could explain it. However, I don't deal with like zoning, land use laws. Mine specifically constructions, meaning like from pouring your foundation concrete and the wood that you're putting up, from foundation to the roof. That has nothing to do with zoning regulations. There's the other my other side of my department. I could lead you to those people do that where they do the lobbying and all that shit. But anyways, that's funny that you brought that up about the floodway or the little creek in your backyard. By the way, it's enforced by FEMA. So
is it really? Oh,
it is.
God.
And so it's even worse.
So sending the appeal is not going to happen.
Yeah, if you appeal to the people who wrote your letter, they're going to send you to FEMA. It's funny that you brought that up because I actually, so I do construction reviews, right? But I actually am one of 3 people in my entire department who specializes in construction near floodways. Now that you brought that up, be very careful if you want to build like another slave quarter addition to your house that's inching closer to where that creek is, even though you're maybe 35 50 feet away. Make sure you check those FEMA maps. I can help you with it. Here's the thing. It's regulated by FEMA, and they're forcing you remember that article that I told you about, it was like maybe half a year ago. Remember Miami's home insurance, or Florida's home insurance?
Yeah.
Every home insurance just left. So FEMA doesn't even touch that because FEMA, and now those are the you peoples you're talking about, the regulators and lobbyists. Those are the people who work at FEMA. They're going to every little city, in the United States, and they're enforcing every city. Hey, you got shoreline or some creek or some natural floodway here, or man-made, that eventually will cause flooding and damages to properties. We are enforcing you to enforce your own citizens and residents to make sure that they don't construct near that or whatever. Or if you don't follow suit, we will make sure that every flood insurance company pulls out of your area as well. That's what FEMA does. So two things. Two things with what I'm hearing from you. What is your jurisdiction? DC? I don't know.
No, I'm actually like just right outside of DC in Maryland.
So whatever, the city of Maryland, or whatever, what city you're in.
Yeah.
Two things I'm hearing. Your flood insurance just went up. So what I understand from my understanding of FEMA's enforcement, city of Maryland's doing like the bare minimum to oblige to FEMA. This is more right.
No, this is good. Keep talking.
Yeah. So that FEMA still allows flood insurance to still stay in your city. However, they're not doing enough, because if your city is enforcing floodway construction better, FEMA actually enforces the insurance to lower the insurance rate for everyone in that city. But if your insurance is going up, I'm assuming that they're doing enough to appease FEMA, where FEMA is like, okay, insurance can stay. However, we won't give you any discounts for your residents, is what I'm hearing.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny that you brought that up, because I actually specialize in construction. But again, I'm not one of those people. I don't lobby for this. I just have to enforce it. Yeah. So anyways, that's a fun adulting conversation for you listeners.
Yeah.
So I know you have like a big what's that called? Mansion type house with slave quarters. Be careful when you're trying to build another quarter in the back. Because here's what sucks. There's like an elevation, right? There's like an engineered, calculated, like if a worse flood was to happen, like how high is that flood's gonna go. So even if it never happens in our lifetime, they're going to go based off that calculation. So what happens is that if you're building like a little addition to your house, and that addition is close enough to that floodway, now it just depends on the floodway. They could be as extreme as like, hey, you're 100 feet away or whatever. But we could look at that up offline. They'll require your little addition to be elevated 2 feet higher than whatever that calculated potential flood height is. Right. So your house may look flat now, and you're like, yeah, this flood will never happen in my lifetime. FEMA doesn't care. They're going to say, well, 1% chance that flood is going to rise 17 feet. So that means that your little slave quarter addition that you're building in your backyard, you have to elevate that 19 feet off the ground. And you're going to be like, that doesn't make sense. But FEMA's going to be like, I don't give a shit, because FEMA's like that. FEMA's similar to FEMA's best friend with a similar orange head guy. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. But yeah, it's fun that you brought that up. it's funny that you brought that up. Yeah, no, dude, seriously, for homework, since you're already doing homework, look up FEMA flood hazard maps and type in your address, and then you could see how close you are to that floodway. And then you could kind of gauge, can I do construction in the future, or or whatever. So
because you just never know when one might need a addition.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, for you, man, you only have
just
one.
Giving you yet another chance to casually throw those comments in there, like it's just bigs. Yeah.
No. If you ever have any questions, let me know. Because that FEMA flood map is pretty universal.
So that's coming down on everybody right now.
Yeah, even in Seattle.
Or is this just a me people thing again?
For what? For like construction or
like they were coming after. Get it? I was using your joke in my favor.
Nah, it went over everyone's heads. Moving on. Tyler and I talked.
I was gonna say the reason why I brought up the car insurance thing was to the point too, because like I don't know if you've paid attention to it, but like when I was first moving down here and everything, obviously I was paying like my premium was pretty standard. It wasn't too expensive. But when it was renewing, I still had my Washington address on it because I hadn't changed it over. But when I changed it over or whatever, they were like, "Oh, by the way, your thing's renewing and you're paying. This is your new premium." And I'm like, "It's almost fucking double what I was paying."
Yeah,
what's happening up there? So I called. I was like, "Why is this happening? Like, why am I almost paying double? Like up there? Granted, I'm changing it to a different state now."
Right.
But I was just like, why is it so much? And they're like, well, depending on how many accidents and claims and stuff are being, submitted in your area of your address, that's why it's affecting this. So I was like, what the hell is happening in Washington right now to where my car insurance is going up that much? So I ended up, I changed it down here and I'm paying far less than what I was going to be paying in Washington if I was still up there, which is crazy to think about, paying less for insurance in California.
Because that's the Teslas. They never get
no, it's not even that. It's
that's Teslas. I'm sorry. Prius. All the fucking Priuses.
So I was told because
same thing though.
I called my dad and was telling him about this. I was like, hey, just keep an eye on your insurance and all that stuff. And I was like, is there anything like crazy happening up there right now? And he was just saying that everyone, it's obviously a thing right now and it's a trend that everyone's stealing Kias.
Yeah. That's still a thing.
Yeah, it's still a thing. So everyone's stealing Kias and using them in smash and grabs, essentially. Yeah. So they'll just ditch the cars wherever, but they like, going and breaking into things. So everyone's doing all these claims. So I was like, that's true. Insane.
That's true.
That's
that
insane.
Makes sense.
That's most of the reason why insurance is going up crazy right now, and like at least Washington. I'm sure it's around the country, but it's wild that that's happening that much in Washington right now.
Yeah. No, it's that I remember. That's still a thing. You know what's crazy? All right. Here's my joke of the day. And this is nothing against anybody who works in insurance, right? I'm not gonna bash everyone. Insurance is a good thing. It protects your assets, your health, whatever, right? But a lot of people just recently, I helped my brother get his own insurance. He just turned 26, and he's self-employed, so he doesn't get insurance from his job. And so for me, I've always been blessed where I was always on my parents' insurance, and then when I after turning 26, my job had insurance, good insurance right off the bat, right? My brother wasn't the same, and so I was helping him navigate. I have a much better understanding of health insurance than I have ever done in my entire life, but I helped him navigate it together, like just figure it out. Originally, it's so fucking difficult to get your own health insurance. I understand now why it's such a huge political issue. However, once you get it, it's pretty easy. But like for people who don't have insurance, there's like it's difficult. Like you can't just Google, health insurance, and because it's like, to narrow it down, every state has its own marketplace, right? And you can't take an insurance. It's not universal. If you guys, I don't know if you guys knew that. I think all of us are so blessed we have our jobs insurance that we never like consider it. But if you buy Washington State health insurance, and I'm not talking about like Medicaid or anything like that. Every state has their own, like, I'm talking about like full on, you can afford it, full on health insurance. You can't run to Oregon or California and just use the insurance, even though they have the network there. You have to cancel your Washington and then buy the state's version of the same thing. It's like, what the fuck? Anyways, going back to what I was saying about all this. You guys know me. I watch a lot of horror movies. You guys know the movie Saw, right? And just for those who don't watch horror movies or seen the commercials and is disgusted by it, because it's kind of a gruesome, gory movie. But just to let you guys know, the premise of the movie is not a sick guy killing innocent people. He actually doesn't kill innocent people or put them in like, gruesome situations. A lot of the people he put in those situations are criminals. And he is a spoiler alert right now for everyone who you guys seen the movie, right? So you guys don't care if I spoil it?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many spin-offs of the movie now where like it ran away from its original idea.
Yeah, how many are they on at this point?
There's like 11, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot now.
Yeah, but the first 5, 6-ish, like it stayed true to the original. And then anyways, it's about this guy. He's dying from cancer, and he realized what triggered him. This is the best way to explain Saw. Saw is a horror movie franchise that's has the same script as Batman, right? So here's the parallels. There's a guy who's dying from cancer, and he's just kind of struggling with life. He has a beautiful wife who takes care of him, and she's a nurse or she's a doctor. One day, and she's pregnant with his kid, by the way. And one day, a criminal broke into her clinic, and while she was trying to just let him go, he basically like beat her up until she had a miscarriage. And so the cancer guy was like, that's it. I'm dying anyways. So what I'm going to do is basically teach criminals a lesson. He kidnaps them and then puts them in these situations where they have to like basically repent for their criminal ways, right? So that's in a nutshell. It's basically another Batman movie, but more gruesome, right? But here's the thing though. We find out in like the 4th installment of this movie that I think it's the 3rd or the 4th movie where basically he kidnaps an entire insurance company and their agents because their calculations that they use for people basically kills people, because like their algorithm basically fucks people over even though you're a good standing paying client. So anyways, there's a flashback where the cancer guy, the main character, is like, hey man, I'm dying from cancer, but you just canceled my insurance. And they're like, oh well, our algorithm, and he's like, I've been paying you guys good for 10 years. And the guy's like, well, our algorithm, says that, we can't fund you anymore, something like that. And he later finds out, because again, he's like Batman. He finds out that the insurance company is actually running basically a scam where like, a legal scam. And so he kidnaps the entire insurance company and basically, again, he's not torturing them. For those who don't watch horror movies, think that it's a guy torturing innocent people. It's not. It's people who, yes, sometimes it's petty crime, but he puts them in a situation for them to repent for their sins. So anyways, going back to that long story short, I'm not saying there's a jigsaw guy out there who's going to capture all these insurance people for raising our prices, but it's funny how that movie basically started from the insurance company fucking him over. So anyways.
So it's just Breaking Bad.
Yes, I've never watched Breaking Bad, so I couldn't really compare it to that. So I thought Batman instead. But yeah, yeah,
no, the
similar,
Batman
right?
thing. No, because I mean, in Breaking Bad, he doesn't do good. I mean, no, he's there's no like what do you call that? Like valor in it, like a Batman.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
But still, it's like, guy goes nuts because he's dying. Like, might as well do whatever the hell.
So similar then, yeah. So
Yeah.
a more gruesome Breaking Bad then, except without the drugs. It's more of like he kidnaps and Well, again, hey man, it's because I enjoy the franchise because I watched it all and I don't know why I did. But to be fair, he doesn't murder them. They murder themselves. He just puts them in situations for them to repent for their sins.
No, you're giving.
Look. All right. So
no, if I put, if someone puts a gun to your head, and then you're like, I'm not going to say the word, and then like that means you get your head blown off. Like,
no,
that's
different.
Murder.
He doesn't put a gun to their heads. I mean, quite literally, he doesn't.
Or something that stabs you in the face. I've seen the movies.
No, dude. If you watch the movie,
so they just fell and slipped and fell and like, oh, I've got this contraption on my head. That's
think about this. No, think about this. So okay, the head contraption. It's the famous head contraption from the movies. Yeah. It's the one where like, it's like basically imagine a reverse bear trap that's hooked to your jaw, and sorry for those very gruesome. So trigger warning coming up. Trigger warning right now. So basically it's a reverse trap jaw to your jaw. And then when the timer goes off, it basically, rips off your face. However, he doesn't murder you. He gives you an option to repent for your sins. So like, for example, let's say, you know how like back in the day, they cut off your hand if you stole, right? Like that's your punishment. All right, so it's similar to that. So basically, he says, okay, let's say this criminal he kidnapped, they stole from somebody that killed them, right? So he goes, okay, I'm gonna give you a chance to repent for your sins. Either cut off your own hand, or don't, and that bear trap will kill you. So he gives you an option to survive, but because we're all humans and we're all greedy, we don't, and we die.
It's so not greedy to want to keep your arm. So I'm gonna kill this premise here just 2 seconds. So let me get through it. It's not the same as I'm gonna get my head cut off because like you've been sentenced to death, and that like that's going to happen. There is no chance to get out of it. And then the premise that well, as long as you do the deepest, darkest thing that you don't want to do, you're not gonna die. That's like saying like I tripped and fell and got pregnant. That's not how it works. Like
it does though.
Because if I put you in a contraption that will kill you and you die, I have put you in that position. That's not like. But if I cut off my hand, I cut off my hand, which you would still die from because you're nowhere near medical facilities and things like that. So no, that's not a. We're hearing more from the deep, dark soul of Steven.
But we're talking about a movie here, okay?
We're talking about the same movie. You're reading too deep into this, man.
Hey, I think Blumhouse producers sponsor me because I'm talking about your movies. Just kidding. But anyways, moving on. Insurance, insurance is whack, but we all need it. So I had a lot more for today, but it was a good catching up. I moved it to next week, but I do want to end with this last article because time is of the essence for it. So I didn't want to move it to next week. It's time for us to get a new job. Did you guys? So recently, like literally recently, maybe in the past couple of days, it's actually still up as I was looking for it. Philadelphia Phillies. I don't know if Tyler heard this, but the Philadelphia Phillies, the Major League Baseball team, they're one of their minor league teams in the AAAs is currently promoting for a part-time job as a bullpen catcher. and they're posting it on Indeed.com. So they're basically spreading their net, trying to get a minor league bullpen catcher. And recommend or experience that they would prefer is at least college ball. But if you read through the ad, quite literally anyone can do it as long as you can, prove the tryout. I guess I don't know how they're going to do the interview. Like maybe they'll just throw a 90-mile-per-hour ball at you. I don't know, but that's pretty crazy. Check it out on Indeed.com. Type in Philadelphia Phillies catcher, and it's up there. As of yesterday, it was still open, and it's a seasonal part-time job. There you go, Tyler. Check it out. I heard you're going to the East Coast anyways this weekend for a conference or something. Yeah, because I caught up with Zavon the other day, and he said he's going to see you there. So
yeah, no, I was like, what the heck? I haven't even mentioned that yet.
Yeah.
But no, yeah.
No, I know your life.
I know. You're like, you know my flight and everything.
Yeah.
I just landed at 3:32.
I just proofread the text you were looking at before you sent it.
That's true. That's true.
Someone's got to.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, no, Zavon was telling me. But hey, while you're out there, man, maybe you got a little bit of time to go do a job interview or a bullpen catcher. Yeah.
Is it like a NASPA thing or?
Kind of in a way. It's called ASTI, so it's the collegiate events and that kind of stuff.
Cool.
But yeah, no, I'll be in Rhode Island, so
that'll be fun. I've never been there. I heard it's nice.
I've never been to Rhode Island, so yeah.
How far is it from you, Dustin?
Probably 12 hours.
Oh, okay. So
maybe 12 hours. Yeah.
Well, it depends, I guess.
8 hours to Boston, so probably 12 hours. Yeah.
Providence is Rhode Island's before. It's underneath Massachusetts.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, I think you're like.
Oh my God.
Like
I'm like
6 to 7 hours away.
Wow. Totally had a brain fart there.
Yeah.
Well,
your citizenship revoked.
Yeah.
But yeah.
One day I'd lose it, but just didn't know it'd be now.
Yeah, so I'm flying into Boston on Friday this week. And
for a weekend?
Is
it for a weekend or how long?
I fly out Friday and I fly back, and I get back into California Wednesday at like 10:30 p.m., which is rough. They changed my flight. I was supposed to get back at like 7 p.m. and they pushed my flight back. So I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not only do I have to sit in a 5 o'clock or a 5.5 hour flight, it got delayed 2 hours already. So I was like, that's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, that's all the time we got tonight. Let's wrap it up. Any final thoughts before we call it good night?
No, sir.
Nah, I think that's it. And for all you Seahawk fans, a lot of moves today.
Yeah. Shaping up bittersweet moves.
Bittersweet for sure.
We'll see what happens next week. Maybe it'll be a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of free agents out there. Who knows?
Yeah. My final thoughts, Messi season is back. He's been doing amazing for Miami, and finally he's playing a full season. I think they're at the top of the charts in the Eastern Conference, which is not a surprise. Anyways, you'll be hearing
surprise there.
You'll be hearing a lot of more Messi talks in the forthcoming episodes. All right, guys. Well, as we're signing off, we like to end with our favorite saying. Keep talking with each other, keep thinking together, keep growing together. See y'all next time.